Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Dave.
We're glad you're here.
Thanks for checking out Kotaku Bonsai.
Okay, come on in. Welcome to my shop. I ended up just watching videos of people trimming bonsai trees and just found it really relaxing. Just became a habit, and then I got my own trees, and then that became a habit, and then I kept doing that. Joined a club for the bonsai trees. I joined the one for Lehigh Valley. It was at an auction, and at the auction they had these pots, and I said, man, I'd really like to make those pots. And the guy goes, well, just get some clay and see if you like it, and if you like it, then go from there. And so I was like, that's not a bad idea. So I grabbed some clay and I made some things, and then immediately had to get a kiln and a wheel and everything else. I've always been really interested in clay, enjoyed the process of making something. I kind of just zone out and mess around with clay, and it's still like that. It's peaceful. I get to sit at my desk and just make whatever comes to mind. I got into bonsai in 2014 and then pottery in 2016. So I try to make different varieties to match certain types of trees, certain styles. But then sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm just looking at the pot and going, oh, I like this, it's pretty. So it's different all the time. It's usually like I'll start on a Monday and I will throw so many rims that I throw a rim for every single bat that I've got. The next day I'm making slabs and putting them on the slabs, and then the next day I'm going through. So there's usually a lot of them. Actually, almost this entire rack was just this week. So I'm working on a lot of different pots all at the same time. I make my own glazes now. So I actually, that's what this whole cart is, just powders. It's all sorts of chemicals. Before the glaze is fired, it looks completely different from what it's going to come out. It not even remotely close. If you're painting something, you can alter the shade, just add a little bit more white, add a little bit more blue, and lighten and darken it. Glaze is not like that. It's you have no idea what it's going to look like until it fires. Even still, depending on how it fires, once I do find glazes that like, oh, okay, this glaze works, I like this, then it goes on to the different pots. So now I'm starting to work up a pretty respectable glaze repertoire, I guess, where I've got these different colors, but it takes a very long time to get a glaze nailed down. We fire up to cone 10, so it's 2,350 degrees. So it's very warm. It gets very hot in here, especially in the summer. But you do get used to things going wrong, though. Ceramics is very, 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 very fickle. And once you think you've got it, it will humble you. It just says no. You think you've got it, and then it's like, oh no, everything you did broke. Everything is destroyed. Everything is not working. So you get used to it, where you're just like, every time you open the kiln, it could be great, it could be horrible. Something that's fully vitrified won't allow any moisture to get into the clay body. And so there are certain clays now that are set up in such a way that you can get that at cone 6, which is just a lower heat temperature. The reason that I actually go more towards cone 10 is, for the most part, it's people's perception. People have this idea that the only way it's going to be vitrified is if it's at cone 10. And so honestly, just for the sake of perception, if I fired a cone 10, then it's kind of universally known and expected that that's going to be vitrified at that heat. Although you do tend to get brighter colors at the lower temperatures, whereas by the time you get up to my temperature, a lot of those colors burn out, which is more or less the reason why my glazes usually aren't quite as bright. It's because they're fired so hot that it dulls some of them a bit. All in all, it would be, if you're including the cooling time too. So it's pretty much a day to heat up and a day to cool down is where it normally runs me.
Okay.
Yeah, I start it first thing in the morning. I'll usually program it to start right as I'm waking up, and it'll be done by the time I'm ready to go to bed. Shut it all down and just let it then it's a full day of just chilling out and cooling then before I can get it open. But it's got well over 200 firings. I think I'm around like 250 on it now. So I started doing classes, and I like it because I'm usually working in here by myself, and it's just day after day of just being in this little room, working by myself, making my pots. It's so nice to be able to go out and interact with people and share it with people, see what they come up with. So I roll out all the slabs a day ahead of time and then come in and show them how to put together a slab pot. And yeah, I've had some really, really cool students. yeah, between being in the bonsai club and doing the classes, it's nice. I get to have a community. I get to have people that I spend time with and communicate with, and it's a great way to keep me out of just holing up in here. Because I'm a bit of an introvert and I do tend to isolate myself. So having these scheduled things where it's like, no, you have to go outside, go do things, that's healthy.